Doug is on the phone with Row Racing right now, and what we are finding out is that our Viper heads are not stock. We pulled them apart. This morning we were supposed to get started assembling the cam kit and stuff. We were looking over the valve seals, and we realized that the valve seals that came with our kit for the cam to replace the ones that are in it are actually way smaller. And our valve guides are not bronze like they're supposed to be from factory. We've actually got stainless valve guides, oversized valves. Right now we're checking the bore because we have reason to believe it may have been bored out.
My mic is a little off probably, and there's some carbon buildup, but it shows 402. Granted, there's a little bit of carbon buildup, but it's probably still a stock bore. I'm thinking probably what happened is the last block might have not been usable, and they just started with a fresh one.
I was saying that the inside of this block looks really clean. Oh my lord.
Grab my magnet and double check here, but yeah, they're definitely they're not a stainless. It is magnetic. So the Gen 3 ones being, if they're bronze factory, that we definitely got something different here. See how they taper?
Yeah, they do look like aftermarket oversized valves.
Might be. There's no part numbers corresponding on them. I cleaned all these.
Yeah, they just don't.
Yeah, there's no real markings or anything on these valves to indicate whether they're aftermarket or not, so I just assumed whenever I was cleaning them up and re-lapping them that they were just OEM valves, but it doesn't appear to be that way.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
See, I didn't know if these things were...
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So the valve guides, which are right here, are typically supposed to be bronze in the Gen 3 heads, which is what this is. This is still a Gen 3 casting, but it looks like somebody had went to oversized valves. We're not sure why. Maybe they dropped a valve, there's no telling. Had head work done, and instead of the bronze guides, they actually replaced them with a steel guide.
I don't know why. The bronze is actually better.
Yeah?
Bronze acts as a natural bearing material.
Yeah, that's correct. So yeah, that's true.
It's harsh on it.
But anyways, the problem is that we've got these stock valve seals here, but let me pop one out and I'll show you. The issue is that being that these are oversized valves, right at 8mm valves, and they're supposed to be what, 6mm stock or 7?
I'm not real sure. I thought this was stock, maybe just kind of like whatever, but 7's a very common size.
That's funny because you remember we were pulling it apart and we were like, wow, those look like some big valves.
Some big valves.
The diameter of these valves are so much bigger than I've seen too. So here's the thing though, the valve seals, this is supposed to be for a stock Gen 3 head. We thought we had stock Gen 3 heads, but if you notice, these do not want to pop on there, and you could probably force it to get on there, but the problem is that it's not going to work.
You even can't. I was fighting with it because I thought I was doing something wrong for the longest last night until I just actually grabbed the old one and looked at it.
Measured it.
Oh, okay.
So how much smaller are these than the old ones that came off?
Literally, these fit inside of the
old seal.
Yeah. So that's why I had them next door. And you can see this one, how it's flat on this side.
Yeah.
The one I tried to install mushroomed out. Like
and got bigger, yeah.
It wouldn't even seat.
While we're right here too, let's check this out. So Doug has been working on getting the Viper heads ported. Check that out in there. You can see that there is a lot of material that's gotten pulled out. The casting on a lot of stock heads are very restrictive, but whenever you get in there and port them out like this, holy cow, that's wild. It really, really helps with airflow. This is estimated to probably pick up about 15, 20, what you think?
Probably a hair more than that. Probably 25 as it sits if we actually opened up our areas here on like the exits.
Yeah.
And then did like a port match on the intake manifold up to probably 40 horsepower, 45.
Right.
On a full gasket matched everything set up. But just doing this and cleaning it up, probably looking at 25-ish horsepower. And the throttle body. Can I show you the throttle body done?
No, I hadn't even seen the throttle body yet. So he was working on the throttle body last night too. Check this out. That's crazy.
And that one. The back side, of course, you can't do a whole lot with this area, but this had a bunch of meat here, so
jeez,
helps taper the airflow around.
That's pretty neat.
This alone is good for about 7-ish wheel horsepower and some under the curve too.
That's gonna be nasty. Long story short,
I started to do the intake manifold too, but was kind of out of time. But now we're gonna be waiting on parts for God knows how long.
Yeah, turns out that the heads have actually had oversized valves put in with steel guides instead of bronze guides.
So that means it must already be tuned, which might be why it has a hard rev limiter.
I don't know.
I don't know if these come with a hard limiter from factory or not.
No, the thing is, like, it's not like an oversized valve where it actually seats. The stem itself is oversized.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay.
At least we
I
think.
understand.
Scott at
Yeah.
Road Racing knows way more about these than I do. So he just
Same.
From what he was telling us, it sounds like this thing's been into before.
Also had headboard gun, and it's got oversized valves. They're now completely ported because Doug's been working on that. But that's why the valve seals won't go on, is because they are actually quite a bit larger than the factory ones.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's unfortunate because we were planning on getting the whole thing assembled today, but we kind of can't do that anymore.
I love a schedule because
Yeah, at least
Everybody
this
else
is a
says-
good reason why it messed up. So the problem here is that we've got no idea what anything is that is in this engine. We've got no idea what the bottom end is. We've got no idea what the heads are. We've got no idea the work that's been done to it. And the previous owner didn't even know about any of this stuff. We're the first people to actually take it all apart and see what's inside. And it turns out that at some point it's definitely been gone through quite a bit. I think, honestly, that block is not factory either. I believe it looks like it had been replaced, and me and Doug had talked about it before. It looks like everything that's inside of this engine has approximately 15,000 miles on it. The car itself has got just over 40-something thousand. It's got almost 50,000 miles, something like that. And it's just everything inside of there looks way too good to be that old, but also it doesn't look as fresh as it would be if it was like a brand new engine setup, which would explain why the previous owner didn't know, is because honestly, for the entire duration that guy probably owned it, he probably drove it and had no idea. So that's where the miles came from on the new build. As cool as it is, though, it is a little bit bumming because now we've got to wait on figuring out what we're going to do about valve seals. So Scott at Row Racing, thank you so much for helping us out again. But Doug is getting on the phone with him again and sending some pictures over email. We're going to try and sort out what valve seals that we need to get for this thing, because they're obviously not factory, so we don't know exactly anything. So we're just going to measure, I guess, the valve guys and try to find some seals to fit it. This is really interesting, to say the least. I do know one thing. This thing is going to be an absolute monster.
I think it's gonna be faster than the Camaro. I'll put money on it right now. That's my guess.
like with the Pro Charger.
Yeah.
How about you? We'll press X to doubt, Chief.
Nah, I think that one's gonna race.
X.
Because, I mean, they make same power now. Imagine if they were to make the same exact power. This one we've already seen has the advantage. Even though that might get the jump, this one will probably pick up top end.
I think that car is going to make more power by a bit.
Aren't they both expected to make like 650?
Nobody knows what either of them are expected to make.
I guess that is true. At this point, who knows what the fuck
I was about
this
to
is
say,
gonna
I have no
be.
clue.
It's got
what-
Frankenstein.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the cylinder shot, this thing might make a lot.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh, they could handle it too.
Actually,
We got an extra kit, don't we? Isn't there like a Zex kit here
yeah,
somewhere?
I bought one for,
Oh yeah, you did. I forgot about
yeah,
that.
from the closeout sale. Well, I mean, you can get a plate and use the bottle and everything though.
Casual Friday.
I'm always comfy, boy.
You make those on the football field?
I might have.
Is this for real?
Picture this here, all right? The security, like the security motion sensors go off at the golf course, and so they just shine a spotlight out there, and it's just Rob digging up the turf, like, and then running away.
Alrighty, let's set it up in place here. And then we got one more at the very bottom. Whew.
He's a hot motherfucker today, boy.
Oh man, that throttle body looks huge.
Dang.
You know what that looks like? That looks like a whale shark. I see I've made a mistake. I don't know where the plug is at. Yep. This might be the one that's gonna end up making me mad, I'll be honest. This could be the one. Oh, I got it. No, that wasn't bad of me. All right, this is our Palm Beach Dyno harness. I'll set that one over there out of the way. Now we've got our new harness here and plug it back in right here. What? How'd the other one go on? It's the same plug, it's just not the same connector, if that makes sense. Like there's the same.
Does this plug into that?
No, I'll be honest, I know what the solution's probably gonna end up being, but you're not gonna like it. Real quick, I'm gonna turn the key on real quick. I'm gonna just hit the ignition just to see if it's coming open and closed.
Ooh, big old thing.
You know, realistically, we got some epoxy. I'll just epoxy those two plugs together.
Oh no. I'm ashamed to say that I have definitely done a lot of shit like that before, like shoved it in and zip tied around the connectors and zip tied them together so they don't come out. All right, now that we've verified the throttle body's working, we can get our intake back on. Here's some more bolt bend bolts. They're covered in RTV though, but.
Tell me about your LS. Still not harder than that. It's just real good. Is this healthy?
It probably needs a revision.
If y'all thought this car was bad last year, just wait.
can hear. I redact my statement about Doug's car and Pat's car. This is now the best sounding Coyote I've ever heard.
Definitely already expected the drivability to go down a little bit with this monoblade, but we're out here about to get a data log real quick with the new throttle body. Make sure everything's good and dialed in. If it is, this car is ready to go. Tires are warm, at least a little bit. I need to get in here and practice with this car more. Let's give it another little go. Is that it? That's all it's got right now. Oh, belt came off. Huh? Belt came off.
Oh, did it?
I know it did.
Whatever you main limiter, you think?
Yep, either that or between shifts. Oh, blower setups, huh?
3 months of blue balling for one hit.
All right, let's see how bad the belt blew off. Brand new belt, grip tech pulley, everything. Yep, told you.
Slung it. Is it broken or just sling?
Yeah, broken. That's not from rev limiter then, that's from something else. Usually it'll just slip off if it's from hitting limiter, but that's not. That's something else. At least we didn't split that open any. Yeah. It almost did.
Honestly, it looks like
look, it's been slipping bad. 6 rib ain't gonna do it unless we put it back up to a bigger pulley. Welcome to the fun. I battled this exact deal for like, oh dude, probably a year. This car just does not. It just does not want to work. It'll still drive home, but we ain't got an alternator, so we're gonna have to make it quick. 3 months of blue balling for one hit. I know, you ain't got no boost. I know. Sorry. This old man to the left is like, what the f is that?
What is going on here?
Well, that didn't go exactly as planned, if at all. We had a brand new belt on there. We even got a grip tech pulley sent to us that had a lot of texture on the ribs of the belt to make sure it doesn't slip, but it definitely appears that we've been having some belt slip, and the top of fourth going into fifth, it just broke. What's fun about this too is that now that it's doing this, it's literally got to get the entire bracket pulled off, new belt routed and everything put on just to find out if it's going to hang on again. And then it literally is just like a constant cycle. Well, that was pretty lame.
Yeah, that was a long trip for not a whole lot.
Glad we didn't go get ice. All right, well, probably gonna have to go back to a 72mm pulley, honestly. Drop power a little bit, but that's gonna be probably the only way that we're gonna be able to keep a belt on here. This is the exact problem. Last time that I went to a 69, this is the exact problem that I always battled. And that wasn't even on this blower, that was on the last blower. I went to an HD tensioner just hoping that it would stop having problems, and it did for a long time, but here we are again. Unless that tensioner maybe is just worn out, but I wouldn't think so because it hasn't had that many passes on it. So I think honestly it was just slipping pretty bad. All right, so we got a new belt put on the car, same pulley, same belt, just a newer one. I'm not sure if maybe we had a belt fault or if we are just not gonna be able to run the 69. We're gonna find out though. He was like, what the? I'll roll into it, make sure I get some boost still. Yep.
Oh, yeah, we got this.
Sweet, so the belt hung on at least. Alrighty, well, I guess that works. I wish there was somewhere that I could go and just make pass after pass and just get used to driving the car again. No, you don't. All right, let me go grab some bags. Look at the part in my hair. Looks like Moses part in the C on my head. Let some more drain out real quick and I'll pour the rest of it in there. Done been circulated through the rusty blower and everything. Oh.
Some flavor of horsepower, bro.
I was waiting for it. I knew you were gonna do it. I'm getting to where I can predict you so well at this point. I swear, bro. Monster obnoxiously loud Mustang. That's what it sounds like.
1 to 10.
Probably. Track mode, stability track off. Data logging on. We're gonna try and do something in second, see how it works. And then it locks me out of third. Let me try again. It's weird. Sometimes on this shifter, I'm not sure if it's RPM related or what the deal is. Sometimes it'll go right into third and fifth perfect. Sometimes it won't. I never, ever, not even one time had that issue on the stock shifter though. Let me try it again, see if I can get third. On concrete, and it's still, with the tires hot and everything, it is on a full slick, still that rowdy in second. That's why I was saying it's hard as to drive on the street, bro. Yeah. Everybody thinks, oh,
that's what look at the cop right there.
Come on, don't do it. I cannot, dude, for the life of me, figure out how to get this thing to hook on the street though. And that was lower.
You put down 1,000 wheel and it's instant like that, so much torque, it's gonna haze them.
Yeah.
What you're doing, you're not blowing them down, you're hazing the tire. And honestly, hazing the tire on the street is almost the fastest thing because it keeps your RPM a touch higher than your speed.
But we'll speed up.
So you're literally staying a little bit more in your power band instead of the engine being completely low.
Yeah, biggest thing too is that I haven't gotten to drive the car in forever. All the cars act different with everything. You just got to get used to driving them, but I can't because there's nowhere to drive here. That's why I'll be excited when we get a dyno, so we don't have to make street hits, and everything that we do will just be on the track with this car at least. So I don't know. I really don't like driving this thing on the street and doing hits. It scares me sometimes. It's also definitely too loud to just drive around on the street like that. Even trying to keep it quiet, it's just like, no, I'm good. All we've got to do at this point is just get a new tune again. But this is going to be hopefully the final tune that we have on this car for a good while. We've got our 69mm pulley on there. We've got our giant new throttle body. This car is probably going to make about 1,000 at the wheel now, which is exciting, I guess. Not that horsepower really matters because we can't do anything with it yet, unfortunately, because all the tracks are still closed. But at least we'll have this thing back and finalized. So this thing just needs to get tuned. We'll get that taken care of in the next few days, and it'll be ready to go. As for the Viper, we are down to a bare Viper block almost at this point. Cam is out, lifter's out. Like I said, all that we have left on this thing, you'll see next video, we're going to be taking our new cam. We're going to be putting it in once Doug gets done porting our intake runners on the heads. Once we do that, get the whole entire thing slapped back together. This thing should be running and ripping pretty soon too. It has actually been a pretty productive day, I will not lie. Updates on the GT350 real quick. Well, actually, let me talk about the Camaro before that, just before we go real fast. So the Camaro, all that we're waiting on now, which lands tomorrow, we get our injectors for the Camaro from FIC. Thank you so much, guys, at FIC. Really appreciate them. But anyways, we'll get the injectors put in. After we get the injectors, we'll do the booster pump. After that, we're gonna have to find somewhere to take this car to go get tuned. I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna take it yet, but we'll figure something out. And yeah, so GT350, just waiting on the fuel system. That'll be good. Got a lot to tell you guys about the truck too, which is gonna be pretty cool. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. That is gonna be a wrap for today's video, guys. If you have not already, go get some new merch. We just dropped a lot of new designs on the site. We got key tags back in stock, lanyards back in stock, shop. We got literally everything back in stock on the site. We've been slacking, unfortunately, but everything's back up. So if you guys want to go check it out, get your entries in to win this Dodge. This is the weirdest promo ever. This is just a Viper in pieces. Anyways, guys, go get your entries in to win this thing. It's just a $6.com or $10 spin. It's gonna get you one automatic entry, $50 5, $60 6, so on and so forth. You know the drill. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next video.